Matching. And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Between the Arizona Cardinals and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move got him a couple extra on the play. The numbers a week ago for Johnson. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
Looking to throw. And complete to Zach Ertz. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up.
Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Duke Dawson picks it, and he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is, when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. North of 100 yards, the two scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is
under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
Here we go! 3-19!
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Green 39!
On 2nd down, Johnson. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's caught by Mike Evans. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Good!
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Being chased out left. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Melvin Ingram in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So out come the Bucs now. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Well, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot. Gone.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there.
Patriot.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. They'll roll him out right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open, otherwise just don't do it.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
They'll set up a throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal.
Now that's an offensive line you and I can play behind. How about the amount of time they gave their guy to scan the field and find someone open? Had it all night, and on a game like this, probably should just put a spotlight on them instead of the quarterback.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And he'll go on the ground. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a first down. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Detroit!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, a 22. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Detroit! Over!
On second down, here's Yeldon. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. They go play action here on first down. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills. And it's second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll set up to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
They're going to look to throw. Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, you need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a third and long at the outset of this drive. And he fires one, but incomplete. Now, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. They stop troops. They're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He has not had the start to this game that he envisions here in the second quarter. He's struggling a little bit. But, hey, they're in the lead right now. So, kind of what's going on in his head, do you think, Charles?
I think that's what he has to keep in mind. Winning the ball game is not going the way he wants in terms of his own play. But, oh, yeah, that's right, winning the ball game. So don't press. Don't try and do things outside of what's going on right now. Don't try to increase your game or get yourself right. Just make sure you continue to lead your ball club and keep them moving in the right direction.
Well, they've got that lead so far. 1 interception for him, no touchdown passes. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now a handoff, Johnson. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He'll look to throw. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Matt Ioannidis. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up fourth down. Returnable for Thomas. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now. Second quarter, you're losing. You're not playing well. Probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust the weight? How do they make it work for them? How do they work against it? That's what we're going to find out going forward.
Yeah, they'll be trying to get all that weight off his shoulders here on this drive. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Back to throw here. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And this is incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Line of scrimmage, again, the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Cardinal was able to gain possession, yes. So they will hold on to the ball.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though,
under pressure again, and down he goes again. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure to punt.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What do I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Now he's going to send this one deep. That's caught inside the 20. A big play there just before halftime. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Jabal Sheard in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
This will be caught inside the 10. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Gano's kick is right through. So we have, due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. He'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter three.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
Now let's go. 3-19.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll drop the throw. And this is Hurts with it, right side. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So out now come the Cardinals. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Looking to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll run it here. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Back to throw now on first down. That's taken in by Stewart. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Corey Grant, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Gano out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Caught by the tight end Ertz. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
He'll drop to throw. It's caught. Stills right side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here we go now.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Screen play, Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a first down or more. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
He's going to look deep down the field. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Trying to get it that time to Stills.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down. So they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And, you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one is pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. So those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass and want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man.
And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. The Cardinals on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 4.
Good. Watch it now, Barney. Good.
They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jabal Sheard in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Look at the spin.
Balance.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A good pickup there at 22.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together?
Set. Green, 30.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Looking sideline, incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time, and that'll bring up second down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And that'll make it third down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach, and incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And the penalty makes this a much more manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 2. Now back to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. They'll set up to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go now.
They're going to look to throw. And this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line.
Back to the Philly. Here we go.
They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
Oh, there's no doubt that this is a huge defensive series right here. They've got to hold them to a field goal attempt or less. Otherwise, this game just might be out of reach. Let's see if they can hunker down and get it done.
He'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a third and goal.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Back to throw here. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And Gano's kick is right through. And that's going to bump up their lead now to 15-3. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points, so it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different. The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. They're giving those short little routes, tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you got to have guys who can actually break tackle and increase those gains.
And he finds Stills, complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete on the deep ball. Well, the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way that's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, Because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
Detroit!
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's got his man on the crossing route. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
No. Check. Patriot. Watch him now, Barney.
Right back to him on first down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Back down in Philly. Here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney.
And they'll go on the ground. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And this is no good. Close but no cigar, just wide right. And this score will stay right where it is.